They said he was too risky, too flashy, too inconsistent, that you couldn't trust him in pressure moments, that Manie Libbok would never make it as a Springbok fly half. But what they never told you is that those doubts didn't come from a lack of talent. They came from fear. Fear of something different. Fear of a player who didn't follow the script. From the dusty streets of Hemelsdorp in the Eastern Cape, Manie was never built to fit into boxes. He grew up in a place where rugby was everything, but resources were few. A boy with a dream, chasing it on uneven fields and through every possible gate the system said was closed to him. At Outeniqua High School in George, his game took shape. Fast hands, lightning feet, a vision few teenagers had. By the time he hit SA schools and the SA under-20s, he was already being compared to the best of his generation. But for reasons no one wanted to explain, the hype slowly faded. The Bulls signed him. Big franchise. Big stage. And yet, he disappeared. Not because of form, but because they didn't know what to do with him. They tried to turn him into something he wasn't, a conservative fly-half who kicked for territory and played behind the gain line. That's not Manie. That's never been Manie. So they benched him. And when he left, the Sharks gave him the same treatment. No real game time. No freedom. Just silence. At this point, most players fade. They become cautionary tales. Talented, but directionless. But Manie Libbok refused to vanish. He knew his game didn't fit the system, so he found the one place that would fit him. Enter John Dobson, the Stormers' head coach who saw what others ignored. He didn't want to change Manie. He wanted to unleash him. And for the first time in his professional career, Libbok played in a structure that gave him space. Space to run, space to create, and most importantly, space to think. The results? Almost immediate. The Stormers went from underachievers to champions in one season. And Manie, he didn't just thrive. He exploded. That wasn't just talent on display. It was years of frustration, years of being told you're not the right type of 10, suddenly proving everyone wrong. But this wasn't luck. It was years of quietly refining his weapons, his attacking kicking, his timing, his spatial awareness. Everyone saw the flair, but few understood the control behind it. He wasn't just playing rugby. He was playing a game within the game. Making defenders bite, dragging lines out of shape, and setting up teammates like a conductor leading an orchestra of chaos. And yet, even as he climbed to the top of the URC, the whispers didn't stop. He can't handle test rugby. Too loose for the box. The old system still didn't trust him. But Manie wasn't about to bend to fit their mold. He didn't water down his game. He fought to make the system adapt to him. That's the part no one tells you, the courage it takes not to change who you are in a sport that demands conformity. Every time a coach told him to play safer, he responded with a line break. Every time they told him to slow it down, he sped it up. Until they had no choice but to let him be himself. And then came the call-up. The Springboks jersey. That dream every South African kid sleeps with under their pillow. But the dream didn't come easy. The Rugby Championship in 2023 gave him his stage. Big moments, big tests. He had flashes of brilliance, slicing through defenses, putting others into space. But it wasn't perfect. Then came the Rugby World Cup. And the critics sharpened their knives. Against Ireland, he missed kicks. Against England, a few shaky decisions. Social media turned ruthless. The same people who praised his flair now demanded his removal. It wasn't just criticism. It was character assassination. And through it all, Manie said nothing. No interviews. No excuses. Just silence. But someone was watching closely. Rassie Erasmus. The master tactician. The man who thrives in chaos. He saw the bigger picture. While the media slammed Manie, Rassie protected him. No public blame. No scapegoating. Just quiet support. He didn't drop him immediately. He didn't bury him. He kept him close, knowing the damage the media storm could cause. And when Pollard returned and Manie got dropped, it wasn't a punishment. It was preservation. Still, being dropped hurts. Especially when you've carried the team during Pollard's injury. But what did Manie do? He didn't disappear. He doubled his work rate. He trained longer. He refined his kicking. And he waited. When the next chance came in 2024, he grabbed it with both hands. Against Argentina, he was unplayable. 18 points, perfect from the tee, and total control of the game. He didn't just prove a point. He made one. The Springboks didn't just need a safe 10. They needed his kind of 10. And that's when Tony Brown entered the picture. One of the sharpest attacking minds in rugby. The man who turned the Japanese attack into a thing of beauty. And instantly, he saw the value in Libbok. Brown didn't want Manie to change. He wanted to build around him. Suddenly, the Springboks weren't just playing with structure, they were playing with style. Space opened up. Tempo increased. And Libbok wasn't improvising anymore. He was orchestrating. And here's the twist. Libbok's best rugby is still ahead of him. He's only 28. Just now entering his prime years as a fly half. The years where your brain catches up to your instincts. Where your flair sharpens into precision. And now he's surrounded by the perfect trio. Dobson, Brown, Rassie. Visionaries. Risk-takers. Coaches who see him. He's no longer a kid with potential. He's a general with a toolkit most fly halves only dream about. And as South African rugby evolves, the system he once had to fight against is finally being built around players like him. So what does this all mean? It means we've been looking at Manie Libbok through the wrong lens. He's not a luxury player. He's not a plan B. He's the missing piece in a puzzle that's been stuck in black and white thinking for too long. The flair is just the surface. Underneath that is discipline, vision, courage, and a rugby brain built for modern chaos. His teammates now back him vocally. Coaches speak about his growth, his leadership, his maturity. Even pundits who once doubted him are starting to shift. The tide is turning. But the truth? Manie didn't need their validation. He's been proving his worth since day one. They just finally caught up. And if you want to talk about value, here's what most fans miss. Manie Libbok is one of the best in the world at finding the 5-metre line from penalties. That's not just kicking, that's territory manipulation. It's a game changer. With one swing of his boot, he doesn't just gain ground, he gives the Springboks their most lethal weapon, the rolling maul. It's no coincidence that since Libbok's introduction, South Africa's line-out-to-maul success rate skyrocketed. Because it's not just about reaching touch, it's about where you put the ball. And Manie puts it on a silver platter for Marks, Mbonambi, and Mostert to do damage. That level of tactical precision doesn't show up on highlight reels. But it wins matches. This is not a player waiting to prove himself. He already has. Over and over. In the face of criticism, under pressure, in unfamiliar conditions, he keeps coming back stronger. And now, with the right coaching setup, the right support, and the right mindset, he's not just part of the Springbok future. He is the future. So if you're still unsure about Manie Libbok, maybe it's time to stop asking if he fits the Springboks. And start realizing the Springboks were always evolving to fit him. Believe it. He's not the backup. He's not the flashy risk. He's the spark we've been missing. This is South African rugby's turning point, and Manie Libbok is the fly half to lead it. If you believe more people need to hear the truth about Manie Libbok, do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe for more raw rugby stories like this on Blood, Sweat and Tries.